Hi, everyone. My name is Jennifer Cross, and I am here with Dixie Forsyth and Dr. Forsyth, and we are going to talk a feminine moment about the domestic goddess role and actually how you're going to be expanding on the role of domestic goddess in the new book, Fascinating Womanhood for the Timeless Woman, which we are all dying to come out, hopefully sometime in 2018. So Dixie's going to talk to us about the expansion of the role of domestic goddess.
Yeah, domestic goddess is a really great subject, and I think my mother approached it mostly, and it's very foundational and important about the importance of creating clean, tidy home life, organized with good meals and children taken care of and things like that. And those things are important, but in Fascinating Womanhood for the Timeless Woman, I expanded a little bit more to talk about creating atmosphere in our home, not just our home, but anywhere. If you work at your office,
True.
your car, and you create atmosphere. And women are particularly good at this when we kind of just learn a little bit about it. We have a natural talent for it. And creating atmosphere, it's everything to do with the senses, the things you see, which are the most obvious, the way you arrange your room, the colors the pick that you pick for your walls. If you're in an apartment, you can't do that. You can still control the furniture. And with the placement of photographs or pictures on the wall, mirrors, things like that, the visual atmosphere.
Yeah.
And you can always be working on that because you don't set your living room up and don't change it for 50 years, even though some people say, my husband doesn't like anything to ever change. You need to, so things don't get totally outdated, you need to update things. Pillows wear out, sofas wear out, and I like to sew, so I make slip covers and make them last longer. But not everybody does that, and there's other things you can do. But the other thing is in atmosphere is smells, sounds, and things you touch, anything to do with your senses. And so you pay attention to the things you make to eat. I remember my mother sometimes, when my dad he'd come home starving from work, and he'd love to have dinner soon after he got home. And if mom has been too busy doing something else and she realized what time it was, she'd quickly throw some onions on the stove, because frying onions always smells amazing, and it makes you feel like dinner's being prepared. So even if it took a little bit longer, she'd quickly put those on, and that's part of creating atmospheres. When he comes in and smells
I love that.
food cooking, it comforts everybody. When you come home hungry and you smell delicious food cooking, there's sounds. I often put on a CD I found of birds singing in the English countryside, just kind of song. That's not for everybody. You can find your own things. Sometimes people have a little fountain with the sound of water. But we live in a state with a lot of water, and to me it might sound like something's leaking. Like, did I leave a faucet on? So that doesn't work as good for me, but some people it's perfect. In Arizona, I think it'd be great.
Yeah, it's true.
And then there's the touch, things that you feel. You don't want to sit on a burlap sofa, for example. It's really itchy. Not that anybody would, but it's an extreme example of that. And the thing about creating atmosphere is it has to be constantly maintained. It isn't just picking things up and tidying things. You pay attention with your senses to all of those things in your house. And if you have a full-time job, which many of us do, you kind of just have to work harder, and especially when children are younger. But they have to be maintained. Like we were talking earlier, that if you accidentally burn toast in the morning, you come home and you still smell that smell, it's just kind of annoying. It's messed with your atmosphere.
Yes.
And I think you said makes you remind you of your failure that morning. And so it's a very small thing.
It is.
But we usually unconsciously deal with these things. But so we're making it more conscious, so you can deliberately create atmosphere in every room in your house, and you constantly maintain it through all those things.
I love that.
And nowadays we live in a day and age where there's the internet, And you can look up, if you don't know anything about decorating, you can get on Pinterest, you can go all over the place and find fantastic ideas for things that you would never think of.
Yeah.
And how to do stuff yourself to make something inexpensive be something beautiful. And you can do that. And so it's fun. It's really fun to do.
I've got to say that Dixie's very good at this, creating this atmosphere. And I know that there's been times when a good friend has visited for the first time. We had a good friend from England and never been here before. I remember when he first came into our house, he looked around and he just went, brilliant.
Oh.
The colors,
He also said smashing, which
smashing,
he often says smashing.
But I noticed it just pleased him. It just delighted him to.
He was a bachelor at that time, so he didn't have any atmospheres create. We went to his house in England, and it was pretty bachelory. It wasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of.
He was survival.
But he saw what
survival mode
with your clocks and the colors and the combinations of things and the art.
Personal touches. That's something I remember reading in your mom's.
Somebody cares about this. Somebody cares about this atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it delights people. It's it's not really something you can always put into words, but it's something you experience and you never forget. And he loves coming back. In fact, when his father was dying of cancer, he said to his father and mother, "Where would you like to go? You know, just kind of a last trip together." And he says, "I want to go to Bob and Dixie's in Missouri."
Oh.
And they came here and we had a wonderful time, and we always remember that. But I think part of it is the atmosphere that she creates is it's enchanting. It's intoxicating.
I don't know that you mentioned something. I don't know that anyone knows I make clocks. So that's just thrown out there because you said my clocks. I make clocks. So anyway.
Yes.
Enough of that. But when you your home, everybody who works and tries to, whether they're president of the United States or the most humble of jobs, the place you want to spend the evening in your relaxing times is home.
Mm-hmm.
What you do, no matter who you are, so your home should have the best atmosphere you can create in it, because it's where people go to, it's their sanctuary.
Yep.
Go to feel safe, to feel relaxed, and that they can rejuvenate and recharge. So women are the main ones in charge of this, and we can do something about creating the best atmosphere that we can.
It doesn't have to be expensive.
And it doesn't have to be expensive. No, it doesn't have to.
It's a lost art.
Yeah, love and care in the atmosphere, and it really makes a difference.
It sure does. Well, thank you so much. We're so looking forward to reading that chapter and the whole book, Fascinating Womanhood for the Timeless Woman. And you all watching, thanks for participating. Please comment below, like, and share. And we will see you next time during a Feminine Moment. Take care. Bye-bye.